The Senate Foreign Relations Committee holds a hearing on whether to give President Obama the authority to use military force against ISIS. The request has made little progress since it was sent to Congress over a month ago. Many Republicans disagree with the president's choice to not use ground forces, and Democrats say that doing so could lead to another all-out U.S. ground war in the Middle East. One America's Augusta Cassada brings us more from Washington.
There is a thick air of urgency here to degrade and destroy ISIS, but disagreements surrounding what an authorized use of military force actually means is putting a halt on congressional action. The main issue is the fuzzy language, which the White House admits is being done intentionally to give them flexibility in how they handle the situation. So that was the backdrop for Wednesday's packed Foreign Relations Committee hearing. On the hot seat, Secretary of State John Kerry, Secretary of Defense Ashton Carter, and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Martin Dempsey all elaborated on why they feel the president's language is sufficient.
Well, this language could seem to allow an awful lot, the how part of the provision, and it does.
Since the wording is vague, Republicans who control Congress want to see stronger measures against the terrorists with fewer limitations. One concern in particular is the 3-year time limit, something Democrats feel might not be strict enough. I spoke with Colonel Oliver North, and he tells me putting a time deadline on the authorization to use force is unacceptable.
Can you imagine on the 8th of December, 1941, when Franklin Roosevelt asked the Congress of the United States to declare war on Japan, who had bombed us, Germany, who hadn't, and Italy? He'd said, all this is going to be over in 2.5 years, and at that time it expires, and whoever is, and whatever was, and that's the end of it. Of course not.
General Martin Dempsey warns against likening the situations of today to what happened over 50 years ago, stating the playing field is different.
Senator, I'm not going to compare something from 1941, which was a state-on-state global conflict, to a conflict with a non-state actor.
Another concern is what would the words enduring offensive ground operations really mean? Those testifying Wednesday feel the authorization request has the right wording to ensure America doesn't enter an endless war, but key details are still up in the air. Republican Senator Bob Corker, chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee, says there will be more hearings, but it's unsure how things will move forward from here. Although President Obama claims the previous authorization of force back in 2001 gives him enough authority to continue on current operations in the region, he feels new action from Congress would portray a more united front and hopes they act soon. Augusta Cassada, One American News, Washington.